This meeting is being recorded.
What's going on, y'all? Welcome to another episode of the Magna Carta Sports Podcast. Here with my guys today, aka they, aka them, aka Rich and Dan. Here to talk to y'all about some NBA today. Make sure you like, subscribe, and continue to watch us wherever you're watching from. We appreciate every last one of you. So, how we doing today, my guys?
Doing great. Just been chilling like a villain, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but been away from the podcast for about 2 weeks now, so it's good to be back. Got a little bit of turkey in us, getting ready to put up the tree the other day. Just ready now to get started in terms of watching games as NFL's winding down.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Happy Thanksgiving, happy holidays to everybody out there as well. You guys look good, man. Y'all look like y'all got y'all baby oil. Y'all look rested and ready to talk some basketball. So
we're real rested,
man.
Bro, I got the light like right over my head, so it's shining on the ball head. So we'll ask some comments about it, but it's cool.
See my future.
I got a little setup going on, just trying to make something right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Switching up the vibes. I feel it, guys. Yeah, y'all want we'll get into it. You know, a lot to talk about in the NBA. Really exciting last couple weeks all around the league. We'll get into my Lakers for sure. Celtics playing great basketball on the East Coast, tops in the East and the league as well. Gentlemen, where'd you all want to start at?
I mean, we might as well start off with the Lakers. They were the butt of many jokes to start the year off. But all of a sudden, it all happened when LeBron went away for his injury. LeBron's like, you know what? I'm not taking no heat for this. And the team turned everything around while he was gone.
He came back to reap the benefits.
Back out here trying to stir up conflicts just so the attention come back to him. But Anthony Davis like, yo, the train's taking off. I got this.
Oh man.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like the squad is really rejuvenated, man. They got bench build going crazy. You got AD going off, like he's looking like a real MVP right now. He's looking like a top 3 player, like everyone expected him to be, really. So it's just a really great sight to see right now. Like I know we joke on the Lakers all the time. We make fun of LeBron, make fun of Westbrook, but the squad really looking like how they were supposed to be, looking like a real big 3, a real all-star squad. So it's nice to see.
Man, I appreciate that from you guys, man. A long road. It's looking like
about time. About damn time, just like LeBron said.
Hell yeah. Looking like the basketball guys are answering my prayers for sure. Because you know, I feel like this was the plan originally when we first got AD, was to have LeBron, you know, kind of slide over and be that's best number 2 ever. And you know, Richard, you mentioned there when LeBron went down with that small injury. I think AD just, you know, I don't know if it was Coach Darvin Ham, I don't know if it was teammates, his wife. Somebody just lit a fuse under him because he has been an absolute monster since LeBron went down and since he's returned still. You know, 50 points, 55 points last night, 44 the night before against Giannis and the Bucks. Big buckets, dunks, mid-range, 3-pointers are coming back. It's all falling for the big dog. So I'm loving to see that, man.
Yeah, for sure. Like you said, it looks like he's been balling basically since like November 13th for the most part. Even maybe before that, he's just been on a tear. So he's really gotten himself back into shape. Like he was, even in the beginning of the year, we talked about it. He looked heavy. You know, I mean, like he's like, I remember a few years ago, Draymond Green had a similar thing where he was just kind of just all over the place. And he ended up getting his having lost like 30 pounds, something like that. Like that's how Anthony Davis is looking right now. He's looking a lot trimmer. He looks more like the player that we saw in New Orleans. It's interesting. Like say, it's a lot of good is going on with the Lakers. They have so many ball handlers right now. So it's when you put them out there, like you have weak defenders and they're able to attack those weak defenders and have constant ball pressure. Having Dennis Schroeder come back to the team has helped a lot. Whatchamacallit has kind of been in and out. Pat Bev has kind of been in and out. But overall, yeah, it's just things are looking up for the Lakers right now. Just to check real quick. Yeah, you can go ahead, Dan.
I didn't really have anything to say. I did definitely see that Schroeder came back. I don't know if he scored like 18 or so,
Hmm.
but that's a pretty good addition because I know their guard play hasn't been as best as they wanted it to be because they definitely thought like Pat Beverly was going to do something, but
Hmm.
I don't think he's that much of a scorer or facilitator. But I think that what they're doing right now, they're steering in the right direction. I think that they keep going. You definitely see them top cracking that the eighth seed. That right now they're in 12th. They're sitting at 10 to 12, and they just got to keep going because like it's the West is very crazy right now. We still got the Mavericks at 10th and they're 11-11. Like you got the Jazz who fell down astronomically, like they went on a losing streak and they're 14 and 12 and then ninth place. Like it's crazy.
Yeah.
Like Portland's in eighth, like 13 and 11. Clippers still 13 and 11. Like it's such a dog fight right now in the West Coast. We got Golden State rising up on the leaderboard. So a lot of interesting shifts going on right now with the league, especially in the West Coast.
Yeah, for sure. I didn't even notice like the Pelicans are in second place right now. Like they've been Zion has like awoken the beast again. He's like back to shooting 70% from the field. I don't know how that's possible at 6'6", but he is completely dominant. The Suns like they rinse, watch, and repeat. Like they have a point guard, pick and roll, and then Devin Booker on the wings. Like they've established their setup is good for regular season. We'll see how it goes in the playoffs. But yeah, the Lakers, like I said, the Lakers have been doing well. It's still a huge jump. Like you got the Mavericks, the Timberwolves, you got the Blazers, you got the Clippers. Like as good as they've been playing, like again, even when it's happened, my thought process was still the same. I'm like, will Anthony Davis stock ever be as high as it is right now? Like you know what I mean? Like I'm always
trade him.
I'm always counterintuitive. I'm like, yeah, like but again, like Rob, I don't have no faith in Rob Pelinka, so it's most likely they're gonna stand pat and just go from there. So
AD is staying home, dog. He ain't going nowhere.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's definitely crazy. You know, like you all mentioned. So the Lakers, like you guys mentioned, right? We're still on the come up, 12th place but we're three and a half games back of second place right now.
Oh wow.
So you know, basically from second all the way down, everybody's only within a couple games of each other. So
Yeah.
it's really about who stays hot, who continues to get better. Definitely, wishing for more health for my guys. And when you mentioned trading AD, I don't see that in the future just because when you put AD, LeBron, and Westbrook on the floor at the same time, or with Westbrook coming off the bench, it really provides matchup problems for pretty much whoever they face.
Mm-hmm.
Just because a lot of guys can't really stay in front of those guys one-on-one. So our role players are getting open looks now. We've cut down on the turnovers and silly plays a lot. I think that's really been helping us over the last couple of weeks too. So I'm just wishing for continued health, and I think if we stay healthy, especially with our three big dogs, I'm calling it now. We're gonna be in that top 4 seed again, man. And I'm thinking we're going to the championship again. So
yeah, now you just bugging. I don't know about all that.
Life of a Lakers fan. Yeah, right. Just transitioning into the Warriors. Like they a lot of the teams that were having problems in the beginning, and it's always interesting, like how we jumped the gun a bit on things, have been able to turn around. The Warriors, Clay and Jordan Poole were having rough starts to the beginning of the year. They've come on strong the last month or so. Jordan Poole has been launching from deep. Like he's every time Steph pulls up, he's like, I can do better. He's one after the next. So it's been an interesting process seeing them develop. We'll see how they continue to go on. Obviously they've kind of cast Wiseman out of their lineup, so he's probably going to get traded at some point to upgrade the team. But Andrew Wiggins has been a real revelation. Like you think about what they gave up. They gave up D'Angelo Russell, and they got back Kuminga and Wiggins. Like that's looking like daylight robbery at this point.
Mm-hmm. The crazy thing about Jordan Poole, he was saying something earlier this week, or maybe like a Sunday or so, saying how like they guard him like they guard Steph. And I'm just like, that's a very big like pronunciation of yourself,
Yeah.
But like he's not exactly wrong because they know once Jordan Poole gets hot, the Warriors are pretty much almost unstoppable to beat.
Yeah,
So
facts.
I kind of see what he's saying, even though it may come off arrogant or a little cocky,
Mhm.
but I definitely see that in him.
Yeah. Nah,
Yeah.
yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Rich.
Yeah, nah, he's been balling like you said, like, and he's while Steph has the handle and stuff like that, Jordan Poole has a bit of a handle. He's so much quicker than Clay and Steph were, so he gets to his spots a whole lot easier than what they have been able to
Mhm.
get to. It adds a different element to their roster as well because Steph is still pretty potent. And then you got your second or third best defender who's guarding Poole. Clay, whether he's making or missing, you still have to account for him because of how great of a shooter he's been historically. So it's been an interesting process. And Draymond Green is still slipping ball handoffs for layups. Like he's been doing that now for 10 years. So yeah, he's found his spot. Mm,
Yeah, for me, it was only a matter of time, before the Warriors started to show their true selves, their
mhm,
championship DNA. And we've definitely seen that over the last couple of weeks. They've climbed up to now sixth place in the West. Steph got cooking to start it off, and then like you guys mentioned, Jordan Poole and then Clay found their strokes as well. So I definitely see them again fighting it out for maybe even climbing up to as high as the top seed or top two.
mhm.
Um, but right now, Phoenix, we mentioned them a little bit in top place right now. Devin Booker, man, he's been cooking the last couple of weeks. Dropped a 50-piece nugget in 3 quarters the other night,
Mhm.
abusing them dudes, and they've been without CP3 for the last couple of weeks too. He's coming back from a heel injury. So I think the Suns have been just a great regular season team over the last couple of years. So I see them as well, fighting it out for another top seed as well, staying up there right now.
Mm,
Yeah, the Suns are very interesting because, yeah, like you said, they were out with Chris Paul and they still kept chugging along. It was interesting to see Devin Booker go for the 50 piece and not go in the fourth quarter for that 70-point game like he did like a couple of years ago. I was expecting that to happen. I kept getting the updates. I'm like, oh, wow, this is about to happen again. But yeah, they took him out. But that's pretty smart. Like if you're blowing them out, reserve your stars. The Suns, like, once again, like, yeah, like you said, regular season team. Um, who knows what they're going to do in the playoffs? Who knows they're going to really get in the playoffs? I think that they're definitely going to be up there in the first seed, second seed option. I think they might not get catched because of the way they play, and I just feel like they're going to definitely be in the playoff picture. But when it comes around the conference final area, I don't know what they're going to get or what they're going to do. I feel like they're definitely more motivated.
yeah.
Honestly, they felt that embarrassment last year
Mhm.
because the year before they went to the finals, and then like Giannis just was unstoppable. He was just a
Yeah.
monster, a beast.
Yeah.
And then like the year after, they got embarrassed by Luka. So I feel like they got some type of chip on their shoulder this year. Even without Chris Paul, they're still like plugging guys in and still making plays. So
Mhm.
I see them doing good. I don't know how far that ceiling can be, but the sky's really the limit, honestly, because who could they really fear in the West Coast besides the Warriors, really?
Yeah.
You know?
No, it's I think a few things here. Like, more looking at DeAndre Ayton stats. Like he's been straight up balling. Like he's had a few games over. He has like 3 games or 4 games over 25 in the last 10. He has a 21-point rebound game, a 15-point rebound game. Overall, like I think what happens is when you don't win the big game, people like underestimate you. The Phoenix
Mhm.
Suns has ran into 2 top 20 all-time players in the last 2 playoff series, like between Giannis and thick boy Luca. So they were close enough where they're getting ready to win up 2-0, I think up 2-0 and I think 3-1 or something like that, and end up losing. But it's just that they're good enough a team that if someone doesn't have a historic run, they're gonna win.
Mhm.
But yeah, Luca and Giannis just had like all-time great series against them. So it'll be interesting to
Mhm.
see what happens. They have a lot of talent. They're deep at every position. You see right now they don't have Chris Paul and they're still number one in the Western Conference. I think pretty much in the NBA. But we'll see here what's going to happen with them and how they'll be able to convert come playoff time.
Okay.
Definitely, no, they're gonna be tough for sure.
Yeah.
To finish up out west, we got the Young Bucks, the Diaper Dandies. Right now, the Pelicans sit second in the West. Memphis 4th in the West, and then Sacramento, surprise team, 5th in the West right now. So each of those teams, checking them out on a nightly basis on League Pass, definitely more Memphis and New Orleans because they got Zion and Ja Morant. But all those teams, man, they're so exciting to watch right now. As a Lakers fan, I always hate on the Sacramento Queens, but got to give them the credit right now. I don't think many of us had them this high so far. So D Fox been balling. Malik Monk picked up from the Lakers as well. He's been balling, and then Sabonis as well. So what do you guys think about those three teams' outlook?
Got to light up the beam, bro. Ever since Sacramento started lighting up the beam, they went on a run, my guy. Like, I don't know, that's like some type of lucky charm for them, or what type of thing is just working the magic for them. But it's really good to see because I play fantasy basketball, and I was really on the fence about drafting De'Aaron Fox, and I really should have, man. Like, the guy's been balling, he's killing it. I was hoping that they would have traded him to us before we got Fat Boy Lowry, but honestly, it's really good to see him actually do good this year, man. Because I know him and Bam are really close friends, so it's kind of nice to see Sacramento actually trying to like win this year and not just be complete failures, honestly.
Yeah, they're a good team with a lot of depth. Like I think the Kevin Porter pickup, it really helped out a lot. They picked up Malik Monk. He would have been good, but I think Porter is a bigger player. He's more consistent, and Monk is the more explosive one. So if the days he's on, but outside of that, they still have someone consistent in terms of defense and playing hard and everything else. So their overall roster is built where every single player is capable of getting 20 for the most part in the top 8 or top 9. And I think that right now they have the number 1 scoring offense, I think, in the NBA. So they're going to be there the entire year. They're going to be a rough out for anyone in the playoffs for the most part, again, because you don't have that one player for the most part that can just completely dominate. So they're going to be good. They might win around in the playoffs, but we'll see what happens with them. Yeah.
And then the sky's the limit for these the two other guys there. Zion and then Ja Morant, both leading their teams, pretty much doing everything. And then giving us those just simply spectacular highlights on a nightly basis. It seems like, Zion being what he is, 6'6", pushing 300, 40 to 45 inch vertical, whatever it is. I mean, when this guy lifts off, it's just different than anybody really. And then when he's not playing above the rim, he's playing right through you, which is strength that we probably never have seen in the league before. And then Ja, was watching him. He nearly took off from, it seemed like, the free throw line last night off of 1 foot to throw down on the Pistons. So just really exciting basketball from those two guys, and really fun just to see them continue to elevate their teams as well, not only just individual play, but it's been awesome to see for me so far.
Yeah. They've done it. I think both teams have done a great job of drafting and developing their players. The Pelicans have been a little bit more blessed because they also traded for Brandon Ingram and brought in CJ McCollum. But last night Jose Alvarado had 38 points. Like he was just knocking down shots. So the Pelicans, like I say, if like in the playoffs, you're gonna need Zion could be your 1, Brandon Ingram be your 2, and then CJ McCollum has this learn. He's like, yo, if these two aren't on, somebody's got to take shots. So whether he's like 10 for 30 or something like that, he understands that, but just by taking shots, other guys can get rebounds, he can create attention by his being on the floor. So he's a really smart veteran. They're going to be able to make a lot of noise, and for how diversified their team is, they're going to have a lot of teams will have problems with them. I don't think it's unbelievable to say that they could end up in the Western Conference Finals. I don't think they're mature enough yet to make it all the way to the finals, but it'll be interesting for sure. And we'll see what happens with the Western Conference this year. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah, before we leave out the Western Conference, I want to give a quick shout out to my boy Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
I was just thinking that.
He's putting up 31 points right now.
Wow.
On OKC, and he's been literally been a tear right now. He's carrying my fantasy team. I got him like 4th round. It's the craziest thing ever. Someone sent me a trash trade for him. I was just like, what are you doing? Like, if this guy was on a good team, he'd be MVP front runner right now, honestly.
Yeah,
Shy is killing it. And I really like it's crazy to see like you got bad teams that just have awesome players, but they can't really get a lot of recognition because they're on bad teams. So
yeah. I think this is the first time, like you say, like I think we remember 10 years ago when he had bad teams, they were terrible. Like this is the first time where it's like almost every single team in the league, like the Magic are like the worst team in the league, and like their team is so interesting to watch. Like I would definitely pay to go see the Magic. That like they aren't winning the games, they don't know how to win, but every single team right now has an ability to be interesting night in and night out. So
yeah.
there's a lot of
Everyone's like it's like everyone has star power. It's so crazy to
yeah.
see right now.
Yeah, there's so much talent around the world that's been developed. There's a lot of talk about expansion, and it makes sense with as much parity as there is around the league. It makes sense to add another team in there. Vegas looks like they're in the front running. Floyd Mayweather said he can offer $2 billion. So
Oh, wow.
him and LeBron are trying their best to get their first team
Yeah.
on the book. So
That'd be
yeah.
cool.
For sure. Moving on to the Eastern Conference, the Celtics they've picked up right where they left off last year. They are dominating everyone and everything in their path. Jaylen Brown for a long time has been whose team is it? And they've come to realize that it's both of our teams. Jason Tatum, I think, is coming more to the terms of that he's not Kevin Durant. He's a great he's not an all-time scorer. He's a good scorer. But he's also have a lot of different facets to his game. So he can get you 27 a night, but he's going to have good defense. He's going to do all these different things. Jaylen Brown is the more physical version of the two of them, and he can get a shot whenever he wants to for the most part. And they're just rolling right now for the most part.
Yeah, the Celtics are a very good team. They got so many like playmakers really now. When they added Brogdon, you got Marcus Smart, and you got that fat dude. I forgot his name. That it's a fake Draymond Green. What's his name again? Huh?
Grant Williams.
Yeah, Grant Williams. It's crazy. I saw a trade from like Grant Williams to the Heat. I'm just like, why would we be targeting Grant Williams right now? Like, it was crazy. Yeah, like they're just really dominant because they play both sides of the ball. They're probably I bet they're like top 5 on each side of the ball. So it's very interesting to see them like could just continue where they left off because a lot of teams like sometimes when they get the finals or wherever pinnacle they reach, they kind of drop off, but they just kind of picked right back up from when they started off last season from mid-season and just went on a run. But they are good, but my Heat definitely got them. I gotta say that. It's crazy. It was very interesting to see because I saw like the post where Jimmy Butler posted like, yeah, Boston, I'm on the way. And sure enough, that boy came to play. I still think they're good, but I think Jimmy's still Jason Tatum's daddy, bro. He still be tucking deuce in the night, man. I don't want to hear none of that. I don't want to hear none of that because I think for some reason I feel like some teams just got your number, and we just got a thing with Boston, man. I don't know what it is, but we just have like a really good rivalry games, and they got us last year. We got them a couple years before that, so it's like it's been a back and forth kind of rivalry kind of years with them. So it's interesting to see. Like my team has been decimated, but everyone's coming up right now. You know, everyone's getting healthy. The East is very interesting right now.
It's great. It's great seeing like. So I won't say parody, like because parody, you try to think of like everyone being mediocre, but this is like above parody, where it's like every team is legitimately good. Like it's Jimmy Butler is going to average 35 points a game. Like this is what he does. He shows up, he averages like 15 or 20 points a game in the regular season, and then somehow he shows up and he's completely unstoppable in the playoffs again and again, year after year. He's been doing this for like 5 or 6 years now. You got the Celtics, like their Malcolm Brogdon pickup was real legit. Like they needed another ball handler, and he's been able to steady that bench lineup. He's 6'5" as well, so it's not just that he's a ball handler, but he's a physical, you know what I mean, like bear that's just on you all day long. So it'll be interesting to see what comes about this year. Overall with the playoffs and how that goes down.
Yeah, the Heat are definitely prime, to make their run that they, normally go on during the regular season, getting Jimmy Butler back. So I definitely see them, moving up in the standings, heading towards that top 4 seed where they usually are. And then again, just like you guys mentioned, big credit to the Celtics. They're doing what they're doing out there. we have so it's gonna be interesting to see how the top of the East shakes out. Just got a developing story down in Atlanta with Trae Young. Seems like he has some issues going on with Coach Nate McMillan right now.
Yeah.
Apparently he had to get some rehab done on his shoulder during their shoot around in the morning before a game, and so apparently there was some miscommunication between him and the coach. So the coach didn't know he was getting treatment. The next time they spoke, apparently, Nate McMillan told Trae Young, either you come off the bench for the game tonight or just don't show up at all. So interesting to hear, these things coming from your head coach to your superstar player. So definitely want to get you guys' takes on what's going on in Atlanta.
Yeah.
I feel like what happened with Trae Young, I feel like it wasn't a big deal. I think like they had there was something that was like a private conversation or like some type of miscommunication that was going on between Trae and the coach. And then I guess someone leaked it. I don't know who probably leaked that, but someone in the organization leaked that there was some type of riffraff going on. And I think that what are you really gonna do? Like, it's mid-season. You can't really break it up right now. Like they're doing really good, and they got the addition of Murray, so the team's really looking nice right now. So I feel like you just gotta let this be water under the bridge, really, and just move on, really, because it just seems like a miscommunication, nothing really big right there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like I said, like I think at the end of the day, like it's what happens is it's just like whether you're in a relationship, you're married or you're dating. When you're next to someone all the time, so sometimes your quirks can irritate people. And Nate McMillan is from the old school. I think he still wears like those big baggy dress pants, stuff like that. Yeah. So some of the stuff that Trae Young, I'm sure some of his shots he pulled out from half court, and Nate McMillan is rolling his eyes in the back. He's like, bro, pass the ball. What are you doing? But yeah, like it's and what happens is in years past, he didn't have the power to do that. He didn't have another option to go to. But having DeJounte Murray there now, who's been balling, he's averaging over 20 points a game, probably 5 assists, 6 rebounds. He has another option that he can turn to if worse come to worse. So we'll see what happens here. The Atlanta Hawks are going to be they give everyone problems. It's just like they're just able to score the basketball. The same thing with the Suns having that high pick and roll and having shooters on all sides. It's a lot of how they're built. And this year, having a more lockdown defender at the point of attack with DeJounte Murray, you still got Clint Capella back there, ball and everything else. It's going to be a real battle in the Eastern Conference, seeing how they do. But I think the one thing they said on the article was that Nate McMillan's job is secure. So this isn't this isn't you flexing any muscles, Trae Young. You're not getting away with firing your coach.
Yep. My Lakers are coming to town to Atlanta on Wednesday, so don't worry about it, Nate McMillan. We got you. We're gonna take care of all that problems with Trae for you. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. Nah, just in terms of honorable mention again, like right now, a very interesting thing is happening. I've turned into a big Magic fan. They're I think yeah, Paolo Banchero. Like this, I think this is the best case scenario what's happening. Like they picked up Bol for like less than like $1 million, something like that. He's turned into a legit, like, I don't say superstar, but whatever it is, like he's proven he's like, yo, I'm one of the most talented players in the NBA. And they're losing enough where they could possibly pick up Victor Wembanyama. That would be unbelievable if they got
They have the craziest 7-foot lineup ever.
Yeah, that would be.
I've been telling y'all for years now. Bol, now can't see. I don't know why I was enamored with him, but Bol is really crazy. Like, he's a 7'2" guy that can like dribble like a point guard and shoot threes. Like I've been saying that. I don't know why the Nuggets had this dude on the bench just not getting any playing time or any type of development going on.
Yeah,
it's just sad to see, but I'm happy to see that Bol is actually up there now. Like everyone sees Bol, man, and I'm just disappointed because, of course, my Heat drafted him, then traded him. Like, yo, this would have been a great guy to have next to Bam.
Yeah,
crazy.
Exactly.
Yeah, he's different, Bol. He's nice. for sure.
Yeah, he's averaging 2 blocks a game. Like he's really really balling. Like he's really coming to like he's like a dude that like he's like Neo in the Matrix. He's what like woke up. He's like, I am the one. You know what I mean?
I'm him.
Yeah, Banchero's out there like I'm the #1 draft pick, but all the fans are screaming "Bol Bol" all all the time. It's crazy. That's crazy, but nah, it's just this has been. I think in years past you've had like 2017, you had the Warriors, and everybody knew who was going to win. Um, this is a lot of fun. Like the teams are legitimately good to watch. Like every single night, you're having a battle, and these unicorn freaks are just coming out more and more. They're just all over the place. Like one after the next. They're just coming in 6'9" with guard skills. It's just they're becoming a new thing.
It's crazy to see on a nightly basis, like you mentioned. The talent, the size. I mean, the skill it's all there on pretty much every team. You can just pick out of the hat right now and get an exciting game. So definitely fun to watch, like you mentioned there, Rich.
Yeah, for sure. So, yeah, we'll look to be back again later on in the week to bring you more content. Thank you so much for listening. Please like, share, and subscribe, and then check it out from the Magna Carta Sports Network.
Peace.